Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Garret Gosha. I'm publisher of Prep Insight magazine, and I am here at Solario High School with this year's academic player of the year and our all-state quarterback, Mr. Quincy Patterson. It's a pleasure. I've been doing this now for over 30 years, and I must say I'm very impressed. You have the highest GPA of any athlete that I've ever had the pleasure of giving awards to and working with, a 4.7. And I am just surprised. How were you able to be this outstanding football player and maintain this very, very high scholastic?
Well, one thing from the beginning of the time, my parents, academics was really the only thing that I had for a really long time. So it wasn't until seventh grade that I actually started to play sports. So sports was like never really a factor. It was always only school. So kind of when sports kind of came in, it was kind of just the same thing. It was like all school and then sports is just kind of the thing to the side. And then I guess you could say I was just blessed with some abilities. I was blessed with some size. So I kind of got the attention. And that's when things became a lot more serious. But being that became more serious, I knew that being in the books, I would have to make that much more of a priority because I would have much more things to do, such as like interviews or going to camps and stuff like that. So I knew that I had to make some priorities and just make sure that I get everything done.
Now, your size, you're 6'4", and weigh a whole lot, even though no fat or muscle. And how did they keep you at quarterback? Because usually when you're a big guy, they want to put you on the line or linebacker or defense. And most guys I know, they like playing defense because you get to hit people.
Right.
Take out your aggression on them. But what made you stay at quarterback?
Oh, well, I actually play linebacker and quarterback, but so my seventh grade year I played linebacker. In my eighth grade year, that's when I actually started to play quarterback. And then I kind of just fell in love with like the power, I guess you could say you have, because quarterback is kind of the person that runs everything. And I like being in that position, and I guess you say I manage it pretty well for the past couple of years. And my coaches just trusted me and they kept me at that position, and it's worked for me. And I'm going to college to play the same position, and hopefully it'll be the same throughout those years.
Now, who is your favorite quarterback in the NFL, or who is somebody that you wanted to model yourself after?
If I had to model myself after anybody, I would say Aaron Rodgers. A lot of people say Cam Newton. I love Cam's game, but Aaron Rodgers, the way he handles himself. I remember they played a game in Chicago, and he was walking by I want to say Michigan Avenue, and some little kid walked past and like, hey, that's Aaron Rodgers, and he took like the whole family out to dinner, and not expecting any of that to happen, just being Aaron Rodgers on the street, and that happened, and he made the best, the most out of that situation by taking him out to eat, and I just really, I like that type of attitude towards life, and I feel like people that do stuff like that, good things come to them. So I would definitely model myself after Aaron Rodgers.
Now, clearly, the greatest high school game that you ever had or played in, let me say, is when you played against Phillips, and you guys had that game won. It was 1:23 left, and you were on defense. And Craig Elmore scored your winning touchdown, and you were the last man chasing him. Tell us about that.
Well, Phillips is probably the best team in the state for the past couple of years, and we've been playing them since our sophomore year. So every year it was almost like Phillips on the schedule. We got to prepare for them, and this year we did a really, really good job preparing for them compared to the years prior. And we had, like you said, we had the game won. One of the players came out. It was just a lot of miscommunication, and Craig took it for 80 yards, and that was kind of like it's kind of like that gut wrenching punch, knowing that we had like the number one team in the state, and you couldn't just.
Well, I know it was a deflated feeling. It's like all the air went
Right.
out of the balloons.
Yeah.
You ready to let the balloons go celebrating and ooh.
Right.
So everybody was calling you. Everybody was after you. Your mother was telling us that even Stanford came out to see you, which really quite surprised me because Stanford is the #1 engineering program, and that's something that I know that you are interested in, is being an engineer, because your mother said you like to build things.
Yeah.
and of course Northwestern and other universities. So, what made you turn down these other places and choose Virginia Tech?
Well, one thing, Virginia Tech, they really stayed true to what I wanted to do. A lot of other schools, they try to change something or tell me like to make compromises, but Virginia Tech is kind of like, you want to do this, we're gonna compromise for you, but then you have to compromise for us, and that was something huge because 4 years, that's a long time, and college is basically preparing me for life, and I want to essentially do what I want to do rather than doing what I have to do because of football or something that's technically hindering me. And Virginia Tech really stayed true to what I wanted to do, so that's ultimately why I committed to Virginia Tech.
Well, you do know that they have a history of great black quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And one of them that everybody knows, what's his name?
Michael Vick.
Yes, Michael Vick, yes. Who was a transcending quarterback in the NFL because when he came in, they were not used to guys running as fast as he could run and throwing the ball as far as he could throw it. So it's in the ACC, which is one of the top 5 conferences that plays a bowl championship and a major bowl game. So does that excite you, even though you're going to be a long way from home?
Yeah, I mean, kind of my whole life, I'm kind of prepared for situations where I'm not going to be with my parents. I mean, I've been with them kind of my whole life, but I've always known that one day I won't be with them. So, and I guess it's kind of earlier than I probably would have anticipated in my younger years, but life happens, and I'm in a great situation to be going to Virginia Tech. So I'm just really thankful, and distance doesn't really affect me as much, knowing that I'm going to school that compromises for me, and I don't have to compromise for them, like I said.
Okay, now you've been to a lot of football camps. What's the most enjoyable camp that you have gone to, or the one that you remembered for teaching you the most?
I would definitely say the Elite 11. That camp was in Los Angeles, and it was a short 2-day camp, but it taught you so much more other than football. I mean, of course, we threw, of course, we get graded on how we throw, but they graded us on, like, just how we acted in the hotel. We went to, what do you call it?
Well, I knew that you were going to act okay in any situation because I met your mother and your father, so there was no question that you were going to act right because they would be the one that would seriously let you know. Tell us about the award, the Academic Achievement Award that you got as being the #1 academic high school player in America out of an organization in Washington, D.C. And I think your parents went when you received that award with you. So tell us about that, because we've never, again, had an athlete from Chicago Public League to ascertain that type of award for academics. Usually, African-American young men or city kids that play in the city, they're known for their exploits on the basketball court or on the football field, on track. But this was all academic, so tell us about that.
Well, the Watkins Award, it recognizes the #1 African American athlete in the country, and I was blessed to be nominated as one of the 4 candidates. And we went to DC, and we had like a barrage of events and like interviews and just media like stuff. And I was blessed to actually win it. It was a great feeling knowing that you technically are the #1 African American student athlete in the country, and it was just great knowing that somebody recognized me for something other than my athletic ability, because it's easy to judge how fast I run, how big I am, how far I can throw, but until you get into the nitty gritty and look at my GPA and look what I do in the classroom, you don't really get to know who I am, and Watkins kind of expressed that.
Okay, you just threw me for a loop here. You just used a word from my day. Did you actually say nitty gritty?
Yeah.
So please tell me, a young man, like, where on earth did you get that terminology from?
Kind of just flow. I mean, hear a lot of stuff.
Did you hear that in your house?
Yeah.
From your I was getting ready to say, because nitty gritty. Okay. So you're leaving tomorrow?
Tonight.
Yeah, tonight to head there. And so what are you going to do for this summer at Virginia Tech?
Oh, it'll mostly be football conditioning. I'll take like college preparation classes, and then I would have 2 track classes, so it wouldn't necessarily be, like a full-on engineering course load, but it'll be something to kind of introduce me into like the engineering program and the facilities that they have to offer. So that's kind of what my summer would be, full of.
Well, we're Prep Insight Magazine and the Ear Sports Club is very happy to congratulate you on your wonderful, wonderful year. Again, we've never had a Player of the Year to ascertain these accolades academically, to be voted the African American Academic Player of the Year and to be our Academic Player of the Year. We're just very excited about a bright future that you're going to have, and we're going to be following you and taking notice. And what I'm pleased about is that we can use you as a role model and as an example to other young men, that they can go and be a great athlete, but they can also be great academically, hit the books. So the one thing that I can say about you that is wonderful is that you were able to choose where you wanted to go, not where they would let you go, but where you wanted to go. And your mother was telling me about when Northwestern was recruiting you, and I went up to the game, and they offered you a scholarship, but at a position that you really weren't interested in.
Right.
And I want more of our young people to be able to say thanks, but no thanks.
Right.
I appreciate it because it is a great school. It's in the Big Ten. It's a great academic school. But I want to go play in the position and do the things that I want to do, and because you are qualified, you can do that. So that's a wonderful thing.
Thank you.
The best of luck to you, and God bless you.
Thank you.